season, and we had over 14,000 units, 160,000 scouts use the app. We had 74% adoption the first year, which we were very pleased with the turnout. The units that used it to record more than 75% of their sales grew almost 9%. So those that are using it, using the functions, is working well. The biggest thing with the app is it gives you real-time sales and inventory reporting for the unit, scouts, and to be able to manage your storefronts. And this is going to be really critical. Obviously, 2020 is going to be an interesting year, and we want to make sure that we're getting everybody to use the app, the technology to help manage the sale, so you can see exactly how much product's being sold out there. Scouts can accept credit cards at any time, anywhere, and Trails In, we pay those credit card fees, and those that use credit cards, their sales were 20% higher. So going into 2020, our plan is we're making improvements to the app based upon leader feedback. We had a lot of good feedback from a lot of the leaders like yourselves, and I'll show you some screenshots. And this year's app, the functionality is still the same, but it's going to be easier to navigate. We're going to be doing quite a number of webinars. Last year we offered 20 webinars. This year we're going to do over 150 webinars, and you can go ahead and register. That's the address, the link to it, or just go to Trails-N. There's a link, and they're going to start on June 17th when we do our upgrade. And with more and more people doing Zoom meetings, GoToMeetings, virtual meetings, we just think that more people are now used to this type of meeting. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to use it and understand how the system works. And then there'll be an upgrade on the Scouts side as well. We're going to continue to pay all those fees, and we're going to be putting more square readers out in the field. We provided readers last year, and our goal is to more than double the number of readers that we're providing for the Scouts and units. And what we're finding out there are people that want to support Scouts, but 30% of Americans just do not carry cash. And those that carry cash have less than $20. So they'll come by the table at the show and sell, and they might say, oh, I'd love to support the Scouts, but all I have is $20 or $10, and I'm holding on to it for emergencies. Sorry, I can't buy. So we really want to get people to use credit cards to make purchases. We're going to provide more show and sell banners to the units, and it clearly states we accept credit cards right on it. If you look at your console, so we broke it out in terms of through the app, the cash sales versus credit card sales. And you can see that when it comes to the credit card sales, the average spend is $1.24 more. And if you look at the small caramel, the classic caramel, and it comes to cash sales, that's your $10 item. That is the most popular item. But look at the credit card sales. That is the third most popular. The item that people are buying are the $20 items, the butter, the white cheddar, and then you have that salted caramel. That is a $25 item. That actually does better dollar-wise than your premium caramel. So it just goes to show you that people want to support Scouts. They're willing to do it. We just have to give them the opportunity to use credit cards. So with the app, so what we're doing this year, it's going to be faster, easier, and simpler to use. So right off the bat, it says rebuilt in Google Flutter. And when I first saw that, I had no idea what that meant. But from our IT guys are telling us is that it's using Google technology. It'll work more efficient with Android phones. And overall, the system is going to go a lot faster for you as leaders. The Scout registration, we've upgraded. It's going to take a Scout less than a minute to log in. The checkout process, last year it took 9 clicks. Now it's only going to take 4. So it's streamlining the whole process. And there's going to be a new online direct in the Trails End app. So when I talk about the online, something that's new, that they'll have the ability for consumers to place an order for the traditional products and have that shipped direct. Consolidate the Scout and storefront view reporting. Fewer clicks to get to the reports. Last year, it was very time consuming. It was very cumbersome to try to find the report that you need. So it's just going to be a lot cleaner. And then reassociate your storefront orders between shifts. That was confusing. If I'm a leader and little Johnny sold between 8 and 10, and he stayed on and worked another extra shift, it's just going to be easier for you as leaders to associate the sales per scout. And on our webinars, we're going to get into a lot of the detail on it. And part of our goal this year, our motto is every question asked, every question answered. So if you get on one of our webinars and you have a bunch of questions for our folks, they'll stay as long as it takes to make sure all your questions are answered. So just to show you a couple of screenshots. So you can see the 2019 view of the app versus the 2020. And it's just a lot more intuitive. So it's going to be easier for the scouts when they log in and the families to navigate. It clearly shows, where do I go for my storefront sales, wagon sales? How much have I done in cash or credit? What's my goal? How much do I need to sell to get to the next level? So it's going to be easier to navigate. I was messing around with it yesterday, and I was amazed at how easy it is this year to actually find stuff. You can see how the products are going to be displayed. As last year, where it was just a list. These are just some dummy shots, but you can see the pictures of the products. The whole checkout process is a lot simpler and easier for folks. So that's the app. That's a quick peek of some of the changes. So as leaders, and you can let your other leaders and families know that the site's going to work a lot better this year. Our rewards program. So with the rewards program, it's preferred by 88% of the scouts over physical prizes. And with the Amazon program, the reason the scouts like it is they just get whatever they want. And it appeals to older kids, younger kids, boys and girls. The prizes, the scouts get that gift card quicker. And they redeem that gift card right through the app. It saves the leaders time. So our reports, feedback we got from leaders, it saved them an average of 6 hours of time. And I could tell you from someone that was a popcorn kernel for 6 years, prizes was probably just as time consuming as scheduling my show and sells. I was chasing scouts for their orders. I'd order prizes for them. They didn't like what I ordered, came in broke, I had to wait for it. Prizes get redeemed a lot quicker as well. Our plans for 2020, we're adding 7 new prize levels. There's going to be more prizes for the scouts. Biggest complaint we got were there were too many gaps, the jumps were too big to go from one level to the next. We're going to increase the value of those gift cards, and they're going to be released quicker through the app. So with the upgrade to the app, when scouts go to place their orders, when the unit places the order for them, typically our group would hold on to them, analyze it for accuracy before we would release it. Last year it took 7 days. This year it'll be 4 or 5 days. And then there's no cap. So whatever this sky's the limits. And as you can see, these are the levels. You can see the levels that we had in 2019 versus 2020. So you can see where last year a scout that sold $1,500 had to sell another $1,000 just to get to the next level. And you can see where we've added levels. So basically every $250. And again, there's no cap as to what a scout can earn. So pretty pleased with this. I think this is going to help motivate the scouts, because a lot of times if a scout got to 1,500 and the reaction was, boy, I don't know if I can make it to 25. That's a big jump. So, but the important thing is they're going to get more value to the cards. As I mentioned with the app, we are doing the upgrade, and one of the biggest upgrades is going to be under the rewards. So first screen will show you right as soon as the scout logs in, right at their dashboard, it's going to give them the ability to set their goal. So I can just click on the tab and say, I click on the $1,000. and it's going to show me that I'm going to get a $50 Amazon card. We're also working with Amazon to have some select prizes available for viewing right on the app. So what are some of the more popular items? So for example, maybe there's a picture of a bicycle and the scout logs in and says, wow, this bike looks really cool. I want the bicycle. And if they click on it, the system's going to show them how much it costs to get that bike from Amazon and how much they need to sell. Just as another way to motivate the scouts. On our screen this year, it's going to show their progress. So in this example, the scouts had $350, and now the system is saying, well, another $150 to go to get to that next prize. Then claiming the prize. Some of the most common emails that I got last year were when people were saying, how do I claim my gift card? Well, the scout had to click to 2 different places to get that gift card. As a leader, when you submit for the prizes, it's going to be right on the scout's screen. So as soon as they get into the app, it'll show what they've done in sales, the reward level they've reached, and it'll say right there, you've earned a $50 gift card. And it's going to be right staring them right in the face. So there's no more questions of, where's my gift card? I was expecting it in the mail. I was expecting it in an email. It'll be right on here for them. So the beauty of our rewards program with Amazon, the scouts just get whatever they want. As leaders, you save a tremendous amount of time. But at the end of the sale, we were on Facebook and we were asking the scouts, what are some of the things that you bought with your Amazon card? I just pulled a few of them just to share with them. I think they're cute. And the first one's my favorite. One of our top sellers in the Midwest, he said he was so exhausted from selling so much popcorn. He used his Amazon card and he bought a Lazy Boy recliner and a back massager for his room. Second one's one of the staff members in Maine I work with. She said her son has a room in the house where all his games are, and he said he got tired of walking to the kitchen for drinks, and he just wanted a little refrigerator right next to his chair. And you could see some cute stuff, buying Christmas presents and trading their Amazon card to their parent to get some cash for a trip to Hawaii. So that's the beauty of it. You know, scouts, they can just get whatever they want, whatever motivates them. Sky's the limits. So looking at our online, so we did a revision of the online last year, and overall we had growth. We were pleased with the results. The average order went up $67 versus $25 on a traditional sale, with most of the orders being shipped outside the council boundaries. The average order is $32 every time a scout shares their page. So what does that mean? Well, every scout can make their own personal fundraising page, and I can send it out on email, Twitter, Facebook. And we know from last season that every time a scout did that, it would generate $32 in sales. So that's a best practice that we like to push. You can see the average sale per scout and how it counts towards the reward program. Now, going into 2020, we're going to make some changes with the online. And this is so recent that Mark and Steven just found out about it just before the call. Our plan going into 2020, we are going to promote the online selling on a year-round basis, and the sales will count towards the rewards. There's going to be more promotion from Trails End. Obviously, we're all dealing with COVID-19. There's a lot of uncertainty week to week. I live in New Jersey. We're heavy hit with it. We think that more leaders and scouts are going to be selling online. We just think that should this thing continue, now we're planning to have a successful sale, the show and sell, the take order. But we want to make sure that if a family decides, I just don't want to have face-to-face contact, and that's their decision, we're going to be putting a lot into our online program. We'll have more information at the webinars available in June. The biggest change is we're going to put the traditional products available to sell through the app on our site. Our online platform, the products were a lot higher priced. A lot of people felt like, I don't want to participate. It's different from the regular sale. So more information is following. This is a sneak peek to give you a little bit of a heads up, but we're going to be upgrading our technology. So the ability for a scout and a family, if they decide, I just want to send some emails to friends, even if it's my next door neighbor, and I just don't want to go out, I don't want to have any face-to-face, I'm going to be able to sell the traditional products, sell it to them using the app and our technology, and then the consumer at that point, they're going to pay for the shipping, and then that product gets shipped. So it's our direct ship model. We're going to have more information. Vince and I will be on a call tomorrow, but you're actually the first leaders in the country to really get a sneak peek at what our plans are. So again, not for everybody, but for those families that just want to still practice social distancing and they just don't want any face-to-face contact, trust us, from Trails In, we'll provide you the tools to be able to sell that way.
So Gary talked a lot about our programs last year. We wrote out quite a few new things. Our rewards program, our online program, and a new app. And then in addition to that, one of the new things that we started was our Facebook community. Ultimately, we wanted to create an environment where everyone who was kind of experiencing the popcorn sale could come together, share ideas, share success stories, and really just make it a fun environment full of positivity. By creating the Facebook community, last year we had over 18,000 unit leaders and scout parents sign up as members, which was awesome. And when we jumped in there, we saw a lot of cool things happening, whether it was, hey, how do I set up my display table? Or, hey, what are some of the pictures I can use? We saw a lot of people in there mixing and mingling, and so we want to improve on it this year. People who did become members of our Facebook community roughly saw a growth of 5%, which was phenomenal. And then not only that, when we saw the posts and everything, we noticed that there were over 1,300 comments and 3,600 reactions made each day. In addition to that, unit leaders and scout parents also got real-time practices and answers from not only their peers, but Trails In experts, which in this case, if you're on the book, you've probably seen Sean Stanford on there like 1,000,001 times. I'm pretty sure he has clones because he seems to not only work, but also be on the Facebook page 20/20 or 24/7. So for this year, we wanted to take that and see what can we do to make it better? What can we do to make sure that, one, not only everyone knows that this thing exists, but that it's a useful tool that they can have and take advantage of. So one of the things that we wanted to do to make sure that we got the word out about the Facebook community is to increase the number of leader and scout parents by using digital marketing. So even though we had this really cool environment set up for everyone, it was something that not a lot of people knew about, simply because maybe we didn't get the word out well enough, or maybe, the word of mouth didn't really translate the way we needed. But you had this great thing out there and not a lot of people knew about it. So this year we want to make sure that it's on everyone's radar, because as we know with the popcorn sales, sometimes questions come up and, a lot of things go on at the council level. So sometimes you can't always give an answer back as quickly as you like. With the Facebook group, you can hop on there and roughly within 2 minutes, someone's going to answer your question. Whether it's a peer or someone from the Trails In team, you're going to get that quick answer. So now we want to make sure that everyone knows that this place exists and that they're welcome to join anytime they like. In addition to that, we're also going to be hosting more live events with increased interaction. So it's nice to go in there and get an answer, but it's even cooler to go in there and get a real-time answer. So we're going to make sure that we're doing really cool events where we let everyone know, hey, this is coming up, or hey, what do you guys think about this? We're going to be interacting a lot, and you're going to be able to get on there and ask questions. And Gary talked a lot about us being on calls twice a week. One of the things that come up constantly is that with this, we're going to have a rule where it's every question asked, every question answered. So if you get on there, you're definitely going to make sure that we get you the answers that you need. And last but certainly not least, we're going to include more influencers as moderators on our Facebook group. We created the Facebook group to be not only a good community for everyone in the popcorn sale, but something that creates positivity. And as you know, sometimes when people aren't having the best of days, or they hit a rough patch, things can go sour really quick. We want to make sure that we're not having someone kind of get on there and kill the mood, or drag everyone's good spirits down. So we're just going to put these moderators in there to not only answer questions, but to make sure that we keep the conversation positive. Now, with all these cool things we talked about, a lot of the initiatives that we had last year, depending on how many of these you were able to participate in or, be aware of, really determined how well the sale was. Unit growth last year was roughly a positive 0.4%. If you were able to do the Facebook group, you ran 75% of the sales through the app, you were on the rewards program, and you managed to participate in the webinar. Nationally, you saw a growth of 15.7%. But for your council, that growth was almost 16%, which is phenomenal. Now, we all know that everyone gets busy. There's a lot going on, and sometimes you can't make everything, even though you want to. So if you were able to do everything, but you just couldn't get to that one webinar, you still saw growth of 11%. From a Twin Rivers standpoint, everyone who was able to do everything except participate in the webinar, there was a growth of 8.4%. If you really had a lot of time, but you just managed to get in there to that one webinar, on average, you saw growth of 11.5%. And for Twin Rivers Council, again, that was growth of 5.1%. Man, it's tough, but we did manage to get sales. 75% of the sales ran through the app. From a Twin Rivers standpoint, you saw growth of 3.1%, and on a national average, it was 8.9%. And lastly, if you were a member of the Facebook group, you saw an average growth of 5.5%, but from a Twin Rivers standpoint, it was 6.4%. So a lot of this really just depends on how much of these things you can not only make, but you can really participate in. Gary spoke a lot about the webinars. Like you said, last year we only did 20. This year we're doing 150 to 200. So we know that everyone's time is valuable, and we know that with all the craziness going on with the coronavirus, we kind of got to put something together where everyone has the opportunity to be there. So not only, regardless of what you have going on, we're going to at least make sure that there's that one opportunity for you to catch a webinar this year. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Gary.
So that's our contact information. We're going to email this out. You can reach out to us anytime, and that's our little sneak peek. And you can, more information is going to be coming out on the program in the next couple of weeks. So we just want to take this time to show you what we're doing at Trails End with the app and the rewards, and pretty excited about it. And at this point, I'll just say if there's any questions, I saw a few came through on chat. If there's anybody has any questions they want to ask.
Hey Gary, can you do the chat questions first?
Okay.
I think we got them all. I think there's only one.
Yeah, the question about the yeah, we're all going to do the miscellaneous military donation. Will still be there as well.
We want to be much quicker on approving those gift cards. It does, I mean, it's tied to receiving payment. If payment's in the mail, if we're up close against, a Black Friday or a Cyber Monday or something like that, we know that's the timing that these kids want those gift cards. So talk to Stephen, Beth, your district executive. If payment's going to cross in the mail, and you need that approval, we'll take care of that. I don't want to screw anybody's shopping experience up. So let's just be mindful of that this year.
Good point.
And also we will do a patch before anybody else asks. We will do a patch for any scout that tries to sell and sells a product and gets out there, and one of the sales techniques, every scout will get a patch.
I think Gary touched on this, and Mark spoke a little bit about getting the gift cards out quicker. But last year it was a 7-day wait. This year it has been reduced to roughly 4 or 5. So we're going to try to get those out quicker on the Trails End side as well.
Question about the app, new functions for multi-scout and the families. It is going to, I know we put that in place last year. It's going to be easier to toggle back and forth between scouts. So if you have 2 kids in the program, right from the app, you can go back and forth. And then on the products, we will have the $10 item this year for sure. We're still evaluating some of the products that we currently have. Obviously, this with the COVID-19, we're still evaluating. Usually by now we'd have our products all set, but we're still evaluating everything because some of the companies that we produce most of the stuff at our facility, and we're just really double checking everything, and we want to make sure that whatever decision we make on products today, that we're not going to have any issues. So that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. Question about going back and forth. If you have one in a Cub Scout, Boy Scout, yes, I believe you will be able to. As long as each scout is registered, you could do that. Yeah, the question about expiration dates and tears, they've both been fixed. So the expiration date, for those that are not aware, the product, we have a Best Buy date and then a manufacturer code, and there was a space that was left out. So it looked like if I had some product that said like August 10th of 20, it may have looked like it had expired. So that was a lot different. We fixed that. And on the manufacturing side, they're all new bags this year. So that was a mistake on our end. They were not the right type of bags. It was what we call a serrated edge, and it should not have had that. That was totally on us. And but we have a whole new system in place. We brought new people in to oversee all that. Okay.
Do you know anything about the point system question, Gary?
I'm not familiar with what you mean by the point system.
There, from a desktop standpoint, there may be an update that's required, but I don't think you'll have to fully re-download the app.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with what you mean by the point system.
There was a third hand.
I think she means like, is a sale of an online sale worth more points than a wagon sale? Is it worth more for a reward base?
There was a survey sent earlier from Trails End indicating that instead of dollar amounts, points would be assigned, with online sales receiving more points than wagon or storefront sales.
Yeah, no, it's all going to be based upon the dollars since we've upped the levels this year. And then again, the whole online program is going to change. And that's just a decision that we made within the last week or two because of this COVID-19, changing how we're going to do our online selling. Yeah, Kim asked, the products have not been, we're going to be finalizing that this week. So on the products, we're still going through it.
We'll produce a council popcorn guide as soon as we have product mix, and that's where we can put in our calendars, contact information, dates for trainings. We'll have that as soon as we get the product mix and some of the other stuff solidified in the next couple of weeks.
I mean, obviously, this is a challenging year for everybody, and we're doing our best. We're doing our due diligence to make sure we have a successful sale, that the products we have available, that we'll have no issues with inventory. And we definitely don't want to, obviously, we all see the news and you see what's going on with the beef industry. And, we just don't want to put anybody in the position.
Gary, real quick on commitment. I know that Trails End sends out an email and there's information on how units can commit to the 2020 sale. I just want to throw out there, feel free to do it that way, or feel free to let your district executive send Stephen a note directly. Let us know that you're committed to the sale, and we'll get you in the back end. We'll get you set up in the system as well.
Can I ask a question or two?
Sure.
Okay. Last year, I had a heck of a time with the miniature scroll bars on the website from the laptop. Since you're redesigning the interface, are you going to make those bigger so that we can see them?
I'll have to follow up. I was not aware of anybody having any problems. I know I haven't had any issues with it, but we'll double check on that.
And then the second thing that was most challenging for me was we had the traditional paper. And the order of the products on the paper was a different order than the order that you had to enter them in to the web app.
Okay.
So basically, if I had a kid who just sold on paper and I went item 1, the first one matched, the second one matched, the third one on the paper was actually the fifth one in the digital form.
Right, that'll be all set up because right now, as of right now, it is set up in the system that way. So it is already set up that way, and it'll be released once we finalize the products. But yeah, I know what you mean. That will be all lined up. Everything will be flowed the same way as it is on your paper.
Okay, because that cost me and my assistant a couple extra hours verifying our orders because we didn't want to get 15 packages of something that we didn't have to sell or that we hadn't sold.
Yeah, that's going to be all taken care of. It's already in place as of now. So that's fine. That's set. The one Victoria asked about the default setting for whether something was delivered or undelivered. That was the biggest issue we had last year, and that has already been corrected. I could tell you I was playing around with the app, and it is very clear on there. So what you'll get on the app is the ability to check it as delivered or undelivered. And before you actually proceed to the checkout, you get a pop-up message, and it'll tell you that you have this marked as delivered or undelivered. Are you sure? So it just confirms it, and then you have to click to get to the next screen. So we do have a safeguard in there.
Stephen, I caught a question on commission structure. Is it going to remain the same as last year?
No, it'll be slightly different. It'll be a 30% base, and then it'll be a 5% if you are using the online Trails in computer tools like putting in your orders through the online system, and then you also have to attend a training, and that'll be the bonus 5%. So it'll be the same total amount, but the bonus is a little bit different.
Good.
Okay.
We can hit, I think we'll probably continue to get questions. I'm going to peel these off if we haven't answered your question. I'm going to peel these off, and then please continue to email Stephen with questions. We're also going to put out a couple of options and considerations that we want input on. So I think if we can just survey you guys on additional council prize programs, and we still have a few questions we want to solidify, and we can get Vincent and Gary, unless there's something very specific for Trails End. I think a lot of these questions we can hit as a council. Anybody want to unmute and speak up? Anything specific for Vincent or Gary? Okay. One of the main things we're trying to figure out is we want to switch up in terms of council rewards. We'll have the patch. Trails In is providing multiple more prize layers and increased prize value. But we want to look at the right benchmark for that $1,000, $1,250 kind of level where that fits in, where the council traditionally does something. And we want to switch that up. We've been doing the same thing year after year after year. So we're looking for some ideas and feedback on that. Stephen, you have anything else for us?
I don't. We will be putting out some more information here in the next couple of weeks, but I don't have anything else.
All right.
Thank everyone for showing up.
Yeah. No, we're Gary, Vincent, thank you. You guys have always provided fantastic feedback, data. You keep pushing the technology forward for us. And it's interesting. As you've been pushing this, it just so happens this is the year where we're going to lean on it. So I think you guys are ahead of the curve on putting a lot of this in place. And I think we've got some really good to help us really straight there. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Be safe.
Thanks, Stephen. We capture all the questions, Stephen.
I'm scrolling through the chat right now.
You've got you also hit record. I'm not familiar if the record captures the questions or not.
You know, that's why I thought I'd go through the chat and then. Although I think Beth should be in charge of the patch.
Done. I just hit copy and paste on the chat and see if I can put it in an email.
Okay.
I think for just a little sneak peek, I think that was perfect.
Yeah, I think we need to. You and I and Beth probably need to get together and chat some more. We can't work on the handbook until we get those last bits from them. So.
Okay, I just sent that to you, copied and pasted. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's get something on the calendar and we'll take